Hello everyone and welcome to day 4 of Road to TCG Worlds 2016. Now we're still using Aromatisse Giratina. As you all know how the week works, we play 2 matches every day and we'll see how we do today. We've been doing pretty good with this deck. Started off a bit rough on Monday, but since then I think we've done pretty well actually. And I'm really enjoying using this deck. Nice change of pace from the slow Vileplume decks. I really love having the option to versus Seeker, to use Trainer's Mails, to draw more cards, different attackers, a bit more straightforward, more energy efficient. A lot of things that I'm really enjoying. And yeah, we'll see how we do. Now, pretty decent hand to start off with. We have the Ultra Ball for Shaman. We're gonna draw something. We have energy, so that's not too bad. And the only bad thing about our hand is the fact that we didn't start Cernia, so we won't be able to Geomancy. But eventually, when we do get Giratina going, we will be taking KOs and we will be preventing Focus Sash from being a factor in this game, so that should be pretty important in order to beat this Mienshao deck. Now I'm gonna attach to Giratina, I'm gonna bench Shaman, we have the Aromatisse for next turn, and here I'm actually gonna get another Spritzy, just in case my opponent gets all fancy, and I don't think I'm gonna play Sycamore because I don't want to discard both Aromatisse, and I don't see the need to use Birch actually. I kind of want to retreat into Shaman or give up a prize with Spritzy instead of Giratina being damaged, but no. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let Giratina take the hit this turn. It'll be up to 100 with a possible Fighting Stadium. So him going first is pretty big. He gets the first hit. He's able to reuse Mienfoo. He can put up a substitute, but I don't think that would be the right play, because I can't really attack, but wow, he simply used high jump kick instead. So if I got a Muscle Band and Hydreigon, I could potentially KO that Mienshao here. So I'm gonna attach, I'm gonna use Sycamore. It's unfortunate that I drew another Fairy Energy because I did have to discard it. But let's see here. I can go for Hydreigon, and if I get the Muscle Band off of either one of these Trainer's Mail, I could potentially KO, but I'm not entirely sure. I think I don't want to discard the other Giratina, so I'm gonna go for Hydreigon. Can't use anything else to attack, right? So I'm gonna get Hydreigon, I'm gonna bench the other Giratina as well, and we'll see. If we hit the Muscle Band here, it'll be pretty lucky, but no, we don't get it. So with that in mind, I could hit Mienshao for 80 with Hydreigon, but that's pretty pointless. So he is capped at 80 damage. Gonna retreat for Aromatisse, and I'm gonna move the energy around. This double dragon energy here, and this fairy energy as well. If my opponent doesn't KO Aromatisse, he would have to attach another strong energy. If he has it, well, he takes a prize, but he has the enhanced hammer. Okay, never mind. That sets us behind a turn. Perhaps a safer play would have been to go for Xerneas instead of Hydreigon and get more energy into play. That would have been a lot safer. But here we have the same chance of taking a KO on Mienshao. I will Sycamore now. No problem in discarding the third Aromatisse. No no Muscle Band. So I'm gonna retreat for the other Aromatisse. No point in giving up a prize, and I am assuming my opponent doesn't have an easy way to do 10 damage to the bench. He's gonna Sycamore. If he had gone for Karina and gotten... oh no, there's the other enhanced hammer, so never mind. How did he discard? Okay, with Sycamore. So we don't... unless he's playing 3 enhanced hammer, we shouldn't have to worry about any more enhanced hammer anymore, which is great for us. And we're gonna have to do the same strategy he's doing. Our versus Seekers will have to go towards AC, and we'll have to be keep cycling the Giratinas back and forth. Now I will move the fairy energy to the active, retreat it for this Giratina, and he won't be able to play anymore. If we play this right, he won't be able to play any more Pokemon tool cards or stadiums. So we won't be at a risk of giving up a prize on this Giratina unless he attacks with Halucha with a Muscle Band and a Strong. But that's one Strong in the discard pile. He won't be able to play a Stadium, but he will have the Strong energy in his hand. I have no idea why my opponent didn't use Air Turn last time around. That was really weird, but I'm not gonna complain for sure. Now here, what I can do, I can break my own luck, but I'm not at risk of Giratina getting KO'd. So I'm gonna attach the Muscle Band to Shaman here, because that might be important at some point. And I'm just gonna Chaos Will, discard his tool, leave him at 10 HP left, but this Giratina can tank another hit, and then I can AC it back up. Wow, this was a pretty bad mistake on my end, leaving both energies on Aromatisse. Should have left them on Hydreigon. So yeah, that was pretty terrible from me, to be honest. I have all 3 Sycamore in my hand. I would really like to... now he might Lysander again. He hasn't played any... well, just... oh no, never mind. 2 versus Seekers. But he might take another KO on Aromatisse, so that would be very troublesome. Definitely misplayed that turn. But can't do much really besides that. I really need my own Lysanders though. Plays the Corina, so he won't be Lysandering this turn. He will, however, do 40 damage. And now I am at risk of getting KO'd. So I'm gonna move the energy back to this Giratina. I will AC, I will promote, I will bench, I will retreat, I will move them back, and I'm gonna attach the Muscle Band here. I'm gonna Ultra Ball these 2. I might need Lugia later on, but I will Shaman for 3 here, because I need to get more energy into play if I want to use Lugia. And I could really use either more... now, who do I attach to? Because he has the Lysander for Aromatisse next turn. So, who do I attach to is pretty important. I think Giratina, actually. Because I need to keep attacking with Giratina. And if he gets a KO on Aromatisse, my other... I won't be able to AC. Yeah, that's what he's going to do. So the AC strategy is now off the table because he Lysandered it up. I still do have this fresh Giratina, which is nice, but I really need Lysander. I really need Lysander, so I'm gonna Sycamore. There's one Lysander. I think Ace Trainer will be pretty useful next turn as well. Should be pretty useful. I have the other double Dragon Energy to keep Giratina attacking. So hopefully the Ace Trainer will be enough. We'll set him off quite a bit. He's now going with the Hawlucha strategy. I will be able to tank 3 more hits though, and there's the other Giratina. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Fairy Energy. So there's only 1 Fairy Energy potentially left. So either I power up Giratina or I power up Hydreigon. But it has to be Giratina. It's my highest damage dealing card. And I'm gonna Ace Trainer my opponent's hand away, and I will take a prize. So his damage output is now limited to drawing strong energies or hitting for 60 with Hawlucha. His deck is pretty low though, so odds are he will be able to continue cycling Mienshaos. But I will be taking prizes after every turn I attack now. I want to deny him another prize. So I will Chaos Will it here once again. And he didn't play Mienshao last turn, so he might not have it. Yeah, he promotes Eevee. So we are getting some pretty important and crucial turns here. Let me check. 1, 2, 3 basic and 1 strong. So wow. He tries to stall for a turn. That's fine. Gonna AC the Shaman back up. So not gonna bench it. And I'm gonna take another prize. So my opponent is on a clock. I might want to Lysander this Mienfoo next turn just because that's the one that has energy. And yeah, he passes. So by doing that, I force my opponent to have an energy and a Mienshao just to continue putting pressure. Whereas if I don't do that, I can let him just get the Mienshao. But even though my opponent got a pretty good start and he KO'd both Aromatisse, the soft Giratina luck was too much for him. We were able to one-hit KO. He wasn't able to cycle through his what you call it, through his focus ashes, which ended up being pretty important. His Sycamores, so that pretty much seals the game here. He will do some damage. How many? There's 1 Lysander, 1 versus Seeker, 2 versus Seekers, 3 versus Seekers. So in my 1 prize, there can't be a Lysander and a versus Seeker. Doesn't matter what it is, what my last prize is, and he doesn't even get the energy. So I'll just take the KO here. But as I was saying, in my last 2 cards, one of them had to be either Lysander or versus Seeker, which even if he had attacked and promoted the Robosub, we would have had the game. So yeah, pretty good win for us. shows the slow and steady wins the race kind of deal that I guess has been a theme of my channel, because there's many games where I go behind and I eventually come back towards the end by finding our win condition and playing patiently and playing smartly. And yeah, there's other games we also dominate from the very beginning. And I need to send a text really quickly, 1 second. And there we go. That was a really important text I had to send. And our hand sucks. That's the problem of Ace Trainer. It's really not a good supporter to see in your hand in the beginning of the game. And we're up against a Sceptile EX deck, which could potentially get a KO on Xerneas next turn if he attaches and uses Ariados. So we're in trouble here. It's Mega Sceptile actually, which I haven't seen it be used too successfully. Like, it's potentially good, but pulling off the attaching and healing and all of that seems pretty difficult at times. My opponent's first turn is pretty explosive, so another recurrent theme of the channel seems to be we are in top deck mode, which we clearly are. At least if he does KO Xerneas, we will have access to Ace Trainer, which is nice, but I'd really like to Geomancy once at least. Not getting my hopes up though. Wow, my opponent is just wasting cards and going all in. Plays Silent Lab, which is interesting since he's using Shaman and Hoopa, but it is a way to lock me down. Will play my Fairy Garden though. I will attach the Muscle Band to my Lugia, and I will pass the turn because there's absolutely nothing else I can do. Unfortunate, but hey, top deck mode and coming from behind. That's the theme of the channel, right? My opponent will take a KO here, and my opponent is down to 20 cards in his deck on his second turn, and I drew past. I don't think that's fair. I do get an energy. I will Ace Trainer. I do get some useful things, I guess. I'm not gonna grab that. I'm gonna Shaman for 3. And I will have to pass. My opponent will deal 130 damage once again. But I can AC, but I will probably have to Sycamore. My opponent got the Sycamore off of his 3 cards plus top deck. And yeah, there's not much we can do against such an explosive start. There really isn't much we can do. And if we Sycamore, gonna get rid of 2 Fairy Gardens, which will be pretty bad for us. Is it worth doing 80 damage to Sceptile? I honestly don't think so. It might be. I will do it. And I'm gonna Sycamore. I don't like discarding all of these resources, but it's what I have to do in order to get myself back into the game. Now, I did get Aromatisse. I do have access to Xerneas, so that's what I'm gonna get with this Ultra Ball. And I'm gonna get more Fairy Energy into play while saving, potentially saving that Lugia, unless he has a Lysander. Now I'm gonna Geomancy. He can take a KO on this Xerneas next turn, but as long as he doesn't counter Stadium, I can Sycamore, and I have a good feeling that we'll be able to start using Giratina. He goes after Lugia, so he wants the prices. That's fine. I'd rather him KO Lugia instead of Aromatisse. And instead of Sycamore, I could actually once again Ace Trainer my opponent, which is what I'm wanting to do. I could also for next turn, in case I don't draw a Dragon Energy and a Giratina, I could use Shaman to put 50 damage on Sceptile, and that way I will be able to do 120 next turn with Giratina and take the KO, whilst not being scared of Mega Sceptile EX. So I will attach the Muscle Band to Shaman. I will not play an energy just in case I do get the Giratina, but I don't get it. So I'm gonna attach to Shaman. This is unfortunate. Gonna read. That Ace Trainer really sucked. Like, any basic Pokemon would have been useful. But no luck. I don't want to do 100 with Xerneas because it will get KO'd. There's a 50 damage. Oh, but I should have moved the energy. Why am I so dumb? Yeah. This is not looking good at all. If I had moved this energy onto Aromatisse, I would be able to pull off the Giratina attack next turn. If I got it, which I'm not liking my odds. But at this point... Wow. Yeah, and my opponent got the stadium, so we're down to our last stadium. He will get a KO here. My opponent just started off too strong against our absolutely horrendous start. If I had gotten a Giratina last turn and we get an AC, is this a joke from the deck in order to make me consider just scooping? Well, I will not. I will most certainly not. And still no Giratina. What is this? Bench. There's Giratina. How nice of him to make an appearance. Now we don't even have the muscle bands. There's 3 in our discard pile, so we won't even be able to damage that Sceptile EX for a KO next turn. This is just lame. But okay. If he has a Lysander onto Shaman, that's fine. I really don't have much hope of winning this game at all anymore. Yeah, there's the Lysander. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. What can I say, guys? We drew terribly. Nothing I could do in that game. I mean, my opponent was down to 20 cards while I had still 47 and I drew past. Those games, you just... that's why best of 3 is amazing. To compensate for that terrible luck. I'm sorry, I was gonna swear. But yeah, it happens. Thank you for watching, guys. I'm sorry that second game didn't really show off the deck's potential or anything. Really actually showed how stock you can get in the standard format. I ace trainered my opponent twice. He recovered. I apparently screwed myself over with that last ace trainer. And yeah, that's it for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow on the last day of Aromatisse Giratina. Bye bye.